Hello, folks. Here I am. It's Sunday, and I'm going to have to, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to turn my YouTube page off because it's just coming in like birthday greetings are just coming in. I'll have to just, I try to thank everyone. It ends up being, okay, Dereck, go change the, here we go. All right. Cheers, everyone. It's Sunday, July 7th. It's my 69th birthday. Yes, I'm wearing my own shirt. Some people think that it's in poor taste or gauche to wear your own t-shirt. And to those people, so what if you think that? I'm wearing my t-shirt. Partly why I haven't posted anything for a couple of days was I got busy and obsessive, and I haven't really played hardly any records. I've been busy. Remember, I told you that I was dubbing cassettes. Well, I do things like that. I get on Jags, and so I've been dubbing. I'm not done, but this is how much dubbing I've done from cassette to CD for my tape archives. Tape archives is what I've done this in the past where I've gone through the tapes and chosen material. But here I've preserved the entire tapes, and what I've done mostly is one side. Oh boy, it's going to be, I love it. One side per CD. Some CDs are whole cassettes. But it's been interesting for me because in thinking about doing this for years, I've been thinking about updating this process for years. I keep thinking, well, I've got everything on dubbed already. I did this years ago. Excuse me. I started my series of archives. But what I would do is I would go through and I would pick stuff. And in doing this, where I turn on the DAW, turn on the cassette, record a whole side, just let it record the whole side while I go do something else. Then I come back and I edit, and individualize each track. I've discovered a lot of stuff I completely forgot about. Some of it's good, a lot of junk, a lot of just ideas, experiments. It's been fun. It's been kind of revelatory. It's like I have hundreds of compositions and almost compositions over the years. So that's what I've been doing, as well as, interestingly enough, on the 4th of July, I didn't do anything special, but my Mexican neighbor, Ray, he didn't either. And I had been talking to him because he's a contractor, and asked him if he knew a plumber. He asked me what I needed, so I had him come in the house and I showed him. He said, oh, I can do that. So he comes knocking on the door on 4th of July and said, well, is this a good time? I said, really? It's a holiday. He said, oh, my wife is working. I'm not doing nothing. He was over here for hours. As a bachelor or single guy, sometimes things break down or they just kind of wear out and you just live with it. You know what I mean? So I had a situation in my bathroom where I needed some new plumbing, but was just living with it. And he spent hours, and it's like I have a brand new bathroom, and he charged me really fair, real fair. I mean, he charged for the work, but he didn't overcharge, which is what people do. They overcharge you. So that happened. I don't have any big plans for today. Interestingly enough, I have a gathering to attend today in the afternoon, a memorial for a friend who I recently found out passed away. It's actually the younger brother of a friend of mine. We were real close right out of high school, Bob Bedrowski, and unfortunately his brother Mark passed away. I'll find out the circumstances. Too much information for you. When we were kids, I met these guys when we were kids. Bob is the same age as me. I had a crush on Mark when we were kids, boyhood crush, Nothing ever happened, but I just remember how I was really attracted to him. And then as we got older, it was gone. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think it's one of those things with adolescence, something that we go through. I liked Mark Bedrowski though, but his older brother Bob is really my friend. So that's sad. But I told him I will attend the service. It's a dinner because most of the family don't live in Omaha anymore. But apparently they're gathering. I said I'll show, and I'll let them know then that it happens to be my birthday because they forgot. We used to be real close. The other thing on my mind is I was listening to NPR this morning, and they're talking about phone addiction, digital addiction, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm so glad that I have not fallen into that trap. I do not take my phone into every room with me. I do not leave it. I do not take it to bed with me. I leave it here when I go to bed. I don't sleep with the phone. When I go sit outside and do stuff outside, I leave the phone inside. When I go out in the other room, though, to watch TV, I take the phone with me. But I'm happy to say that I'm conscious of the idea of not being addicted and having to always check because it's creeped up on all of us. I know kids are well, I don't know this, but I think I correctly assume that young people, children with phones are heavily addicted. And I consciously am avoiding that. Glad to say. I remember when we didn't have the phones. Do you remember what you did when you didn't have the phone? We made do. And I dare say we might have been paying more attention to things when we didn't have the phones. So, honestly, besides working on my tape dubbing, I listened to the Chills Brave Words remix album again all the way through. I bought this not too long ago. I love this band, the Chills from New Zealand. Is it New Zealand or Australia? Because I know that they're not the same. And the other thing that I played again, all the way through, all four sides, the Ermin Schmidt, Wille Wunderbar. This is really good and really varied. Real good. I mean, everything from literally sounding like tango music with accordions and stuff to deep dub and everything in between. This is excellent. These are the only records I played in the last 3 days because I've been doing this and then listening. So while I do the dubbing, when I do the editing, I'm not listening. I'm just listening to beginnings and endings and levels. But then what I do is I take one to bed with me and listen as I go to sleep. And last night I listened to one and it was a revelation. There were some things that I don't remember exactly doing this. A couple other things that I discovered was I have some recordings of friends who have passed away where we were jamming or hanging out, and I have recordings of their voices or I'd forgotten, and it's like, wow, that was kind of cool. Memories, memories. So the only other thing I'd like to say is thank you, you few folks who have made birthday purchases, because that's what they are. And you've also left me notes. You know, Canada, once again. I don't know what it is about Canada, but thank you, Canada. But, and then World is Burning. I always forget to show my copy. Is it in here still? No. That's another physical CD that you can buy from me, but it gets mailed to you from Pittsburgh. Someone bought one of those. So, these are available for sale, $10 a piece. You can add more if you want as a contribution to the channel, birthday gift, whatever you want to call it. I'm out of t-shirts. I'm not going to bother to have any more made, but it's cool to have a t-shirt. I was thinking if I can grab it right quick. A couple of it's there. Well, wanted to just kind of grab something, make a grab. The album I want to show is right here. There it is. So for my birthday, I'll share one of my all-time. This is Desert Island. People say Desert Island favorites. This is absolutely a Desert Island favorite. I've shown it many times over the years. Benny Maupin, Jewel in the Lotus. This was recently finally reissued by ECM because for years it was not available and it went up in price. This is very zen, very beautiful. It's almost ideal. It's one of my favorite recordings. I'll be playing this when I get off the camera. Benny Maupin, The Jewel in the Lotus. This is one of my favorites. Top album. By contrast here, because they're in MAs, Ian Matthews. He was in Matthew Southern Comfort. Tigers Will Survive. Look, I have a couple of his solo albums, and I really like these a lot. A couple songs on here I really like. And while I was over there in the M's, another just ideal album, Mezzanine by Massive Attack. Got to see them in '98 when they first came to America, went up to Minneapolis for it. It was well worth it. Fantastic album. Flying Lotus has a series of 12-inch singles where he does something with the artwork similar to this. Kind of buggy. And then these were in my Massive Attack section. Butterfly Caught. And their first album. Safe from Harm, right? Unfinished Sympathy, right? Badass. So, the other thing I can share, it's always been significant to me and always been special to me that I share the same birthday as Ringo Starr. As a massive Beatles fan as a kid, that just really meant a lot to me. And again, too much information. When I was going through periods of depression and suicidal ideation as a kid, funnily enough, one of the thoughts that would lift me up was, my birthday's the same day as Ringo Starr's. As silly as that sounds, it was enough to keep me going sometimes. So I'll leave a link to my Bandcamp if you'd like to buy some music or just send me a gift. I graciously accept. And the other thing is they started to work on the sidewalks, my sidewalk. And my neighbor, Ray, the Mexican guy, he has to get a whole section of sidewalk because he bought the lot next to his house. He bought two lots here. and one, the sidewalk was gone. So that got started, and I don't know how much that's going to cost, but it ain't going to be cheap. So I'll graciously accept anything that you want to send me, or if you would buy some music, that would be even more important. I'd love to have your ears. Someone recently shared with me in the comments that they were listening to, let me pull it up. I haven't looked at comments yet today because I haven't done anything. Someone talked about how, commented on my interview with Mark Burgess of the Chameleons, was just talking to Mark. We are actual friends. So Matt Semino says, cheers, Dereck. Start Anew and Cho have been my jams lately. Also enjoying listening to the archives. Thank you for sharing that. Cho, the track Cho, which is just when I finished the track, it was just what was in my head. It just means nothing. But the music to Cho is what I expressed and wrote upon the passing of my younger brother a couple of years ago. I was trying to just capture, I caught some of it. Cho chokes me up, even though it's instrumental. It catches, as much as I could, that feeling of something that's just out of reach or it's gone. Something that's from my brother Patrick. So I'm glad that you're feeling it. And some of the other folks, listen to that. You can listen to this online on Bandcamp. You can stream it on there. You don't have to even buy it. You can listen and find out how good this stuff is. Okay, so it's really just another day. I'm just really grateful to be alive now. At 69 years old, both of my parents were gone in their 50s, and I've always been neurotic about that, And so to still be here at 69 years old, what a blessing. I'm just thankful to be alive.